because this is not a motivational show, all right? And it's not a comedy show. We want people to watch the show and to see their struggles, right? We don't want to hear it's God that did it.
God did.
Because all of us are sons of God, and He's not doing it for all of us. So we want to be practical. If somebody has gotten a job maybe in the army, for instance, and he's got it because of his uncle, he should not come and tell us that go and collect form. It's not fair.
Wait for me.
Just be as careful as you would be if you were in HOD.
Go long, baby.
Never really know what's going on.
Well, welcome to the Darkpore Show. It's a show focused on helping young men and ladies start new things, start new careers, start new jobs, start new families, and figure out how the world works. It's a practical show. My name is Adefolami Agumbiade, and I'm your host alongside with members of our team here today. We'd like to meet you, so...
My name is Aseke Marcos. Good morning, everybody. I work as an office assistant with Kaloha, Nigeria. It's an automobile company.
Okay, I'm Grace Obaswami. I'm into fashion and more.
Okay, good morning. I'm Desola. I'm a student at Yaba Tech. And my social angle is Real Sheshe Lato.
Hi, good morning. My name is Koinsola. I'm a student of the Lagos State University. My social is Coin_storms.
My name is Oji. I'm a software engineer. Also Oji everywhere.
Wow. This is how I sound like. Yeah, that's how you sound.
I don't think my VN. Okay.
Try to play what's wrong.
My name is Animasha Damilare, a risk analyst for a particular firm in Nigeria, a commercial bank in Nigeria.
My name is Samuel Patience. I'm a teacher, and I also deals with fisher kits, anything women fisher kits.
My name is Bukola Akimolayon or Oladoko. I have reasons for that. I do music and I sell wares.
Yeah, my name is Olayemi Akomolafe. I'm a medical rep. On social media, you can reach me on Pendifacts, BENDYFACT.
Hello, everybody. My name is Gabriel Legrinia, and I'm a musician, computer scientist, and more. And you can catch me on social media, the eFizzle.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Michael Osanzuwa. I do music. I'm also a fiber optics engineer. I do fiber optics, and presently I'm doing musical training.
Okay.
It's nice meeting you. I'm special though. My name is Marvelous. I'm a stylist and a beautician and more.
Wow.
My shisha handle Miss Mavis.
Okay, finally, my name is Agogo Udi. I'm a member of the team here, and my social media handle on Twitter is at Governor General.
Nice meeting you.
All right, so it's nice to meet you. So today we will be discussing...
Today, for our first show, we'll be looking at two topics that are broadly similar because one leads to the other, or the success of one leads to the other. We'll be looking at fake job interview, or fake jobs generally. And we'll also be looking at the difficulty in entering into the Nigerian labor market. Because this topic is important because sometime around 2021, we got a report or it trended in the news that a young lady who was a recent graduate was killed in a quest of finding a job or going for an interview. She was like a victim of a fake job interview scam, something like that. And it made people shed more light on fake job and how prominent they are in our society today or in our country. And I think desperate young school leavers who want a job might decide to ignore red flags and so on to attend these interviews with the hope that they are legit and so on. So, but it is important at this time for us to look at the issues, look at it in depth, and what to do when you get an offer or a call for interview that is let's say shady and so on. So that's what we're looking at today. Then secondly, we'll also be looking at how to enter into the Nigerian labor market with how difficult it is, because according to, I think it's KPMG report that stated that unemployment is or will rise to around 40%, 40.6% this year, an increase of like 3% from 2022 and so on. So this makes it all difficult for young school leavers. And it is also said that around 4 to 5 million new people enter the Nigerian labor market yearly, around 4 to 5 million. So we'll be looking at that, how to enter the Nigerian labor market, what to do when you graduate from, immediately you graduate from school or so on. So that's what we're looking at today.
Thank you very much for the breakdown.
We're also referencing a couple of reports.
Okay, so can we go to the report, the KPMG report?
Yeah, this is the KPMG report. It's on the screen.
Yes, so KPMG report. This report was published on the 12th of April, 2023, and there are a couple of quick things quick summaries. So the first summary.
So Nigeria's unemployment rate will rise to 4.6% in 2023, up from 37.7% in 2022.
You mean 40.6?
40.6%, yeah. And the size of the Nigerian labor market is around 112 million people. If you consider that the working age is from 15 to 65, we have like 112 million people around that age bracket. If it's going to rise to like 40%, it means almost, should I say, 43 million people will be unemployed.
Okay, so
in addition to that mix, you would have about 2 million fresh graduates coming out of the university.
Yeah, that's people coming out of when we say people entering into the labor market, it's different from people coming out of the university, because we have some people 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. They're looking for jobs. They might not have gotten like a tertiary institution education, but they're also looking for jobs, and so they're part of the labor market.
Okay, so the first point is that Nigeria's unemployment rate is projected to rise from 40.6%.
From 37.7%
to 40.6%. Okay, this year. That means that about 42 million Nigerians will be out of work. That's 42 million.
Between the ages of 15 and 65.
Okay, so the second point of the report is that the slow pace of economic growth, limited investment by the private sector, and low industrialization, all right, are some of the reasons responsible for high unemployment rates, which means that lots of people are not investing in industries that would create new jobs. And then the third point of the report is that the GDP is expected to grow at a slow pace of 3% in 2023 due to the slowdown in economic activity. Also, the Naira redesign policy, right? Okay, so we have those 3 points. Okay, so this is the state of the current labor market in Nigeria. Now, it's one thing to read this. It's another thing to have first-hand experience with it.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. Like somebody says that if you are poor and you are surrounded by rich people, usually all it appears is that you are the only person who is poor. Okay? So, I would ask us to jump into the conversation.
Okay, we'll start from the fake job experiences, then we'll move into...
How does that tie in, Baba? That jump is a crazy leap.
Yeah.
From unemployment to fake job.
It's a quantum leap.
Okay, so let me ask, has anybody had experience? Has anybody been out of work for a prolonged period of time? Maybe like up to like a year. So you've been out of work for up to a year.
Like nothing, you're not doing anything.
Okay.
Anything.
What about you?
Definitely.
I hope you're not out of work presently. Because everybody's laughing. He's not. Okay.
No.
Has anybody else? Have you been out of work for a long period of time?
I think I have gone up to a year.
Was it up to 6 months?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's hear your story. When was it? What happened, and how did it feel?
Well, while I was after my O-level section, I went for an interview at the school. Now then it was just teaching work everywhere. So afterward, I went for this job. We did doing holiday coaching. So I tried because I like to teach very well. The holiday coaching? No, not quite long. After the resumption, which is September, that was September time. And I dressed up the Monday morning, like teacher, and that anxiety to be a teacher. And after school days, I just dressed up, wear suits, that kind of thing. So I went to the place. When I got there, after the assembly, the woman just called me like, okay, please, can you go and sit home for like 2 months? Because one of our ex-teacher is around. So maybe when she go back to her school, you'll come and be like, what? So I was ashamed to go back home with my suit. So I have to go to a friend's place. So everybody thought I was going to school. Everybody believed that I'm teaching. So since then, something happened. After a year I left there, I was home.
Okay, so you went back after 2 months to teach there?
I didn't go there because it's a slap on my face.
Okay, so after that experience, you were at home for 1 year?
Not after then. After then, I worked in the school, but because of some things that happened, I couldn't. I was the head teacher of that school for like 3 years. Okay. So something happened that I have to stop the work, and I was home.
Okay, we'll come back to you and all that. You mentioned that you've had experience with being out of work for how long was it?
Mine was like a month.
A month is not unemployment.
You're taking a break.
Take a break. People go on leave for like 4 weeks, 6 weeks. So a month is not. I'm talking about. Is there anybody here who you've been trying to? Let me explain what you've been trying to look for work, and you did not. You've been sending applications, okay, and then either they did not respond to your application or they call you for interview. They said they'll get back to you. They didn't get back to you.
And that was,
or they call you for the job and then you realize that the pay for the job will not transport you to work and back. So that's what I define as unemployment. So
after your degree, actually,
and
after
there was after school counts, like after
secondary school.
HND,
okay.
Yeah, does it count?
It counts now.
It counts, yeah, for like a year or two.
For like a year, you were out of work.
Yeah.
What were you doing throughout that period?
I was just trying to go to different tutorial and just lecture students. It's not like it's a job or something. I even got a small teaching gig around my area. All these small secondary school that are just trying to start up. And based on the fact that you know what you've learned in school and you can really teach it to new peoples. So they try to give you much more room for you to showcase yourself. And if they
sound like you're patting yourself on the back.
I am. Do you know how it feels for hearing your voice for the first time? It's really not joking. My voice is sounding odd to my ear. Like I'm still not used to my voice yet. Maybe I should still do la 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 la. So okay. I was actually...
So, let me get it right now. You got teaching jobs?
Yes.
Okay. We'll come back to you. Is there anybody here who, for 1 year, you are looking for a job, you didn't get a job, you didn't even get a teaching job?
For 1 year?
I think I have experience similar to that.
Okay, so...
It's up to a year.
Someone said we have 3 years.
Yes.
You had 3 years in which you were out of work.
No teaching.
Please, let me tell you the reason why I'm asking this question. Some people are going to watch this particular podcast, and some of them would have been out of work for 3 years. And so when they hear you say that you were out of work for 1 month, they would, in their mind, they'll be like, you are still learning work. You get me?
Well,
yeah. So I get you had something you could do that was footing the bills.
Was it footing
the bill? It wasn't footing the bill.
But maybe it was like a charity thing.
It's not charity. It's just giving me food to feed my stomach.
Yeah, but you could still feed it. All right. Okay, we'll come back to that. Listen.
What if you are being fed by your parents?
What you are talking about is underemployment.
Thank you.
We are talking about unemployed. Okay, so, and I want you to remember that place you were and try to think about how it was. Because that's what today is Workers' Day. We're recording this thing on Workers' Day, May 1st, 2023. Okay, and on Workers' Day, 40%, 42 million Nigerians will be out of work. I know we are cracking jokes about it, but if you are those people that is happening to, they probably not even get to watch this because they may not have data.
It's true.
So, yeah. All right. So, is there anybody who has? We'll come back to your stories of underemployment. But is there anybody who has that experience? You mentioned you have an experience.
Yeah, I have an experience.
Okay, so let's hear who this
I do,
experience.
but it's not up to a year. 4 or 5 months or so.
Let's say Udi, then we'll come back to you.
Okay. Mine was like after I graduated, because I graduated like December 2019. So January 2020, I went for clearance and I was hoping that, okay, by March I'll go for service and all that. Then COVID happened. Then they closed camp and I was just at home. I do from that February till like August, September. Yes, till like August, September, because schools were also closed during that period, so you can't even get a teaching job. Also, I was just eating at home. I didn't have data.
Yeah.
No data to go online.
Free Opera Mini.
There was no free Opera Mini. I had to, if I want to check WhatsApp messages, I have to wait till 11, 12 to do 9 sub to check WhatsApp messages. And sometimes I have to on my mom's hotspot. That's I'll just on my hotspot. She might not be aware, so I'll just on the hotspot. Sometimes when she's going to sleep, I'll just on the phone down, on the hotspot, keep it. Then that's what I actually use to check the internet.
I guess it's a general problem because it was during COVID and a lot of persons were at home.
It affected
It was difficult though. In fact,
it wasn't only you.
It affected everybody.
It was COVID now. Everybody
So you're
experienced
saying you
it.
explained during the point of COVID?
yes, that was during COVID.
Okay, so
Mine wasn't COVID. Mine wasn't COVID.
is there anybody here whose unemployment was not COVID related?
Yeah.
Mine.
2021.
Wasn't COVID.
Let's take.
Okay, I think I got out of one particular job, but that was 2019. Sorry. 2019, 2020. I think that was because they said they were trying to cut costs. The company was running out of, I don't know, maybe bankrupt or so. So they had to cut. They have to let go of some workers.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I was part of those workers that was had to leave and go sort myself out. So it was devastating. I was caught unawares because I never knew. I think they told us before, and I would have started sending applications for other jobs. So it was like a shock. It just came back. So I had to like leave, but I left. And I got home that day. I couldn't even hit, but with the mindset that maybe it's job, we'll look for a job. 1 month ago, no job. I was sending application. I decided to send 10 per day. 10 applications per day. That 10. At least somebody will come. So I made it a point of duty. I still had money from the previous job. I had some few savings I had, so I was buying data. So 10 per day, second day, 20. After a month, no job, nobody called. 2 months, nobody. I was like, God, hey. So I just it was just done on me. I was like, okay, I counted the number of applications I've sent on my Gmail. It was almost like 1,000. I was like, no job in this country. So I was lucky to have that job I had. I said, God, no, this
Which year was this?
That was 2020 December. It was 2021. So 2 months. Finally, someone called me. One of these things called me. That was, I think, CF. Is he? No, Chicken Republic as manager. You know, so I manager. That's cool. So I ran down, went for the first interview. It was like a written test. I saw like close like 80-something people. How many managers they won't get for this? For this small job, not plenty like this. I was like, God, okay. I sat down. I was even the last person because I came late. I had to run all the way from Lagos State to
Your
State.
problem.
So I got there. I did the test. I was the last person to even leave because the person in charge actually gave me extra time because I came late. So it was kind of considerate enough to say, okay, don't worry, I'll give you extra 5 minutes.
For late commerce.
So I just finished up, then submitted with the hope that will call. The next morning, I saw you passed the first stage. Wow, came for the second one. So the second one was like interview with the recruiter, the HR. So I was just personal. You just tell us yourself and everything. I saw like out of 80 that did the test yesterday, I saw like I think 15 of us. I was like, wow, I'm so lucky to have made it to this point. 15. That's good. So they started interviewing us and everything. So they got to that stage where they said, how much will they pay? For my place where I came from, I was paid close to more than 100K. So I was like, me, senior man, I was coming from 100K. But when he asked, what would you like us to pay? I was like, 100K. He said, is that all? Like, if we not pay 100K, nothing, Abi. I said, I was trying to feel like maybe there's some tips they will give you. Want to make sure you please yourself, give yourself standard. I said 100K. I didn't make research on the amounts they pay the managers there. I knew I would have at least. They said for the first 6 months, they'll pay you a particular amount before they start giving you. I didn't know. So I was just giving myself prestige and standard. So I think that was what they said, don't worry, if you get the message tomorrow, you qualify. If you don't get the message, that's all. So I was like, okay. Because I felt like I was able to impress them, tell them how my managerial skill and everything I've learned. The next day, I don't see anything. So I called I collected the number of one of my colleagues that we start to get everything for the interview. I called Alpha, did you send a message? He said, yes, I've been called. They asked me to come and do medicals. And I said, wow. So I wasn't. Another month again gone. Hey, third month, I was not getting frustrated. I was like, wow, I think I have to manage anything that comes. No more 100K or 60K. I see 30K. I don't mind. So someone just called me that there's one work somewhere. Come and do the at least. I said, how much? He said, bros, now 2.5 per day. I was like, I don't mind. He said, you sure? I said, I don't mind. He said, tomorrow now come and start. So I was doing that work for like 2.5 months. But then I wasn't happy because I was paid lesser than even sorting my bills and all. But I was still trying to apply to other places, but I wasn't dealing with my zeal and everything because I was very frustrated. I think there's no job in this country at all. And so another time I got another interview. I was like, thank God, this time around I should be able to get a better one. When I got there, I saw close like if not 120 or 150. How many people did they want? 3. From that, when I saw the multitude, I was like, there's no job in this country. I just give up. I'm done with any interview that comes my way. I just want to. After 2, that was only 5, I think the 5th month already. I think the 6th month. I don't know. I just saw this link. Someone just sent it to me that, bros, apply. I heard you're looking for a job. I said, they look for a job, bros. Say, apply, just try. And boom. That was how I got something doing. Well, better than the initials. But I suffered 6 months before.
And for those 6 months, how many applications did you send out?
After the one I counted, I said 1,000. I was able to count though. After that 2 months of intensive job seeking, because I dedicated myself I said 10 applications per day. After that 2 months, I was just dropping maybe 2 in a week. 3 in a week.
This was not to the swift.
At that point, I said, I just added myself that there's no job. Let me just stop deceiving myself. There's no job.
So, what is that you were applying for? What specific role were you applying for?
I wasn't even specific about the role. Anything that comes. At this point, I was desperate. Let me just find something because everywhere was hard, and then the economy was even getting worse. Things were getting expensive, transport and everything. So I just had to
So the manager role that you applied for, was that the 100K was much for manager role?
Yeah, it was too much. I think they paid them 50 something. They said after 6 months, we don't start paying 110.
No.
Yeah, that was
all right.
That's casualization.
Let's get back to the conversation. There's a reason why he was able to hold you spellbound with his storytelling, because it came from a place of experience. Okay, and no matter how much anybody tells you, if you focus on your focus, you become the focus. You realize that at that moment. Okay, so there are 42 million people who what he just described is not a story for them. It's their day-to-day reality. A lot of them may not get to watch this video because if you've gone without work for 6 months, the last thing in your mind is to sit on YouTube.
You know that data is not life.
Data is life. Data is life.
It's because you have money to buy it. Because you have money to buy it.
Data free.
If you don't have data, you cannot.
Frustrating.
You have a phone to even say buy data.
I think the issue about unemployment, it affects men more than women.
Yes,
because
because of our response right now.
It affects the men.
Though truly, yeah.
The women, they can smile at another guy.
No, stop saying that, please.
No, it's actually
We went to the road.
Guys, He said you can smile at guys.
Yes, for the women, especially those who are blessed with some beauty.
Yes, I understand.
They can just, there's a smile, they can just throw towards the guy.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It's not about hookup. It's not about going.
It's not everybody.
I mean, there's a smile that
Gone are those days.
as long as life remains.
Okay.
Sex appeal will still be marketed.
It's not everybody.
There's a limit in a country where 40% of the working class are unemployed. To what you smile. Alright, so you mentioned that you've had that experience.
That is underemployment.
Underemployment, not unemployment. So you haven't gone for like 6 months, a year.
I've gone for 6 months.
You've gone for 6 months. After
That was 2021.
okay, 6 months. Not even teaching.
No, I stopped teaching.
Okay.
Then
And so you chose to stop teaching now.
I chose
Okay.
because let me just say they were using me.
Yeah.
Yes. I graduated from Federal College of Education. I have an NCE. I'm an NCE holder, and you are paying me 15,000. Secondary school.
Is it per week?
How many classes are you taking? How many subjects? How many lectures?
She understands me. She knows what I'm doing.
Maybe
She knows what I'm passing through.
depends.
When I got employed, even the woman said it's 13,000. I was like 13,000 naira. Okay. That was in 2018. I started working. Gradually, I went to meet the man. The man said for the meantime, after 1 year, what happened? I went to increase my salary with 1,000. That was 16,000. Last, another 1,000. That's 17,000 naira. But the reason why I'm staying there was because I have extra classes I take. So if I calculate my extra classes, the payments, I'm close to 40,000 naira in a month. So that was why I'm just there. So when I realized this, any teacher that leave, because my agreement was for me to take basic science and biology. When I started working, they gave me agric science for senior.
That's what they do.
I accepted. I didn't work. Before you know it, it came to me, please, you can help us with agricultural science junior. That's automatically 4 subjects.
I have the experience.
I was thinking that, so any teacher that leave, even though I don't know anything, for example, basic tech, I don't know anything. Because I don't know practical aspects, basic tech. You ask me that, you tell me that, don't worry, go and teach the theory because I can talk very well. I know how to teach. Go and take the theory. So when it has to do with practical aspects, I will come and, so I feel, and automatically I'm already taking 5 subjects. Then I went to meet this man. What if you employed a teacher for at least, no, you don't pay the teacher, you pay the teacher 10,000. Even though you can increase my salary with half of the 10,000, 5,000, the man said, don't worry. All you know is to teach. So what got me upset was one time like that, my subject was, I know automatically I'm taking 3 subjects, which is biology and basic tech. So because I could not be able to meet up to the the scheme for basic tech, the man blasted me. Said, I'm just collecting his money. I was crying. I was like, this is not my subject. So for me to meet up with question papers, I will mark students' books. So that I was angry. I was crying that this is not my subject. How do you expect me to meet up?
Do well.
To meet up today. So last, I just said, no problem. I don't want to teach again from secondary school days. Teaching life. So I just decided I don't want to teach again.
So you left the teaching job?
So on our graduation, because I'm a class teacher of GSS3, so a day to our graduation, I just dropped my resignation letter. Boom. To the woman. So she didn't even notice it was something like that because I'm one of their competent teachers in the school there. So they wasn't expecting such. And the thing is, he used to mention soldier go, soldier come. So So I feel I'm not even, you even use my brain. If you call, please, can we do this? Okay, let's do it this way. After you just come to the meeting. I and my wife, we decided, he won't even tell you that you are the one that behind that idea. The ideas that will bring money to the school, that will develop the school. You say you will not come. The thing will be paying me that that kind of thing. So I have a lot of ideas and business strategies. So I stopped. She called me. Honestly, the wife called me that they will increase my money to 20,000. I said, even though you want to give me 50,000, because the effectiveness is not there again. So there's there's difference between them paying you and they're even praising. Even if they don't pay you, just say, you understand, thank you for watching. Just appreciating. But there's no appreciation. So the seal is not there again.
Okay, so I want to ask. Okay. I want to, so from the time you quit that job till the time you
till December, I was unemployed. From July.
So let me ask this question. So are you telling me that is it that let me get it right now. Are you saying that most people in the country, the jobs available for them are low paying?
Yes, job satisfaction.
Or there are no jobs at all.
Formal job satisfaction.
Listen, on the issue of job satisfaction, you're entering a different terrain. I don't think there's anybody in this country that's satisfied with the job. I don't think there's anybody that's satisfied with the job.
So we have some
like my sister.
Okay, so let's listen. You can pick the jobs: the downfall driver, the conductor, the last-mile guy, the lawma guy,
the teacher.
Those are
the basic jobs of I mean that the downfall driver is not a civil servant now.
The lawma,
they are private people now. Lawma is private sector now. Yeah. The BRT bus operators and all that. Well. There's almost nobody that you can say has job satisfaction. Anybody who is working in a commercial city in which you spend 4 hours going to and from work, you can't have job satisfaction in the job.
Okay, but there should be a level of like when she was there's something we call employee appreciation. It wasn't there. Even if she was being appreciated.
It doesn't even matter how much she was being appreciated in the job.
It's not about money. It's not just about paying me money.
Yeah.
I was in a situation whereby I was schooling and teaching. So in that school, I was referred because this girl can talk and all that. Okay, just come on. And not like I'm bad when it comes to teaching. So I went to the secondary school, which happened to be the secondary school of my institution. So we said, okay, I'm going to be taking history and maybe I think 2 other courses or so. So I was like, oh, well, history is part of my course and all that. So I took it with good faith and I started. I was giving the student back to back. Until after some time, the head teacher came to meet me, the principal, or that, Miss Grace. We have new NYC students, and so one of them happens to be one of our S students in this secondary school. That they want me to, they give me 2 hours. Imagine to go and think in my office, either to drop the job or to sign in as secretary. Secretary quoi? I have other things I'm doing. I cannot be seated in one place. So I went to the office. I was now thinking, do I take the job? I asked him, are you going to increase my salary? I was taking 20K then. Will you increase my salary? He was like, I'm not sure. So I was like, in what sense? How will you just tell me 2 hours to go and think whether to take this? Is it like, why are you giving me tight corners? Why you not just tell me ahead? Like, okay, sir, I'm not doing it again. So I went home. That was when I started my brand, like my fashion brand. And from there, I started doing like rugged rebranding for my brand. And till now, I cannot do 20K job.
But what you have said.
Now, what I'm saying is that job satisfaction, like, it's not about the money. It's about, like, look at the good man. Chill, no. I have other things I'm doing.
Wait.
During the introduction.
You've contradicted the story you said. Your story right now, you just told us, if in that job they had offered to pay you 200 grand.
Why is there job satisfaction, or why I'm not? Will I use the word?
You are telling us this about job satisfaction, but you told us about money.
What I'm saying is this: I have a lot of things I'm doing. I was taking history. I attend lectures in that same compound. I'm also a class rep. I have other things. I have my own personal business. I do spoken words. I do competition.
Hold on.
So now,
I think I should clarify. Continue.
So how will I now sit as a secretary if they need anything? If the owner of the school itself needs something, they will call the secretary. How will I be able to meet the demand? You're giving me 2 hours to think.
Hold on, sorry. I want to. For what you said now, you were asking if they will increase your salary, and you said, and we're giving you.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I was saying that if they said they would double your salary, you probably would have stayed.
Thank God you use probably. But then, looking at me, I'm not that kind of person that's...
No.
Okay, you know what, guys? We're talking about unemployment and fake job offers. Okay? You mentioned the issue of job satisfaction. I think that's for another podcast. At that particular moment in time, you had a job, you chose to leave the job. You were not satisfied with the job or the terms or conditions under which the job was But that's not the same thing as somebody who has not had a job for 6 months to 1 year, right? So that's the conversation we are having, okay? Because if the issue is that most jobs available are extremely low paying, then that's a different conversation altogether compared to those jobs are not available at all. You mentioned much earlier that you had something you wanted to say.
Yeah. Okay. With everybody's experience here, mine is actually, I think mine is actually really better. I think that's why I've been really silent. Okay, I served in 2021 and, well, I was lucky to serve with the Nigerian bureaus in Kaduna. So bureau was paying me, NYC was paying me, and every end of the month, like, I had an incentive from bureau aside the money. So I finished service, I think it was like October-ish. October, November, December, January, February 2022. I didn't have a job, but I had sponsors. My sister, her husband, and my mom. So, like, I won't really say I had it so bad, even though, like, I didn't have a job. And then I was just tired of, I don't know, I was just tired of watching movies and just spending other people's money. So I came to Lagos I needed a break. So I came to Lagos to see my family. And within 2 weeks, I got my first job.
In Lagos?
Yes. I worked with Giggles Culinary. It's in Yaba. Oh. And it was really satisfying working with Chef Giggles. It was beautiful. I worked there March, April, May, and by June I got my second job. Where I'm presently. So
how were you able to get a job in 2 weeks that people have been looking for?
I'm using Jazz Oji.
Probably there are tips that.
Okay, when I came to Lagos, one of my cousins wanted me to stay in Lagos. So I told her, I said, if you get a job for me, I'll stay. So she did most of the hustling of the job for me. And then she just sent me a message one morning and she was like, there's an office admin assistant job in Giggles Culinary. Do you want it? I was like, I don't know how to cook, but I like food. So they sent me an email and then I sent my CV and I was called for interview and I got the job in 2 days.
You should have mentioned it because the way the story, it looks as if you applied, you got the job.
No. It wasn't a direct, it wasn't I didn't know the person.
It was referral.
Yeah, it was referral. Yeah. And even my second job too, it was referral. One of my friends from school. So where he was, we still work in the same place. So he was like, they needed an office assistant and the pay is ×2 and extra of what I was collecting that person.
Yeah, I think it's easier to get a job by referral than just
applying. Because within that period when I was at home, although I was not really motivated to apply for jobs because, I was getting free food, I was not paying for rent, every end of the month I had data, I was buying new clothes, I was buying shoes, I was not stressed. I said I had sponsors, I was not joking.
That's not very sure.
So,
perfect life.
It wasn't a perfect life.
They didn't really see the...
Yes. So my mom just comes to me in the morning, she'll be like, you are still sleeping. I'm like,
I think you're one of the few.
She motivated me sometimes. So like, I applied for jobs, but like, it wasn't much. It wasn't much because I was comfortable at the time. And during my service year, I got rams for sale to sell during Salah. So I would say that kept me busy a bit, but I had these Hausa guys in my area. So sometimes they come in the morning, they just help me check it, if it's okay, there was a vet. So that was just like I had that routine. Like I just attend to them in the morning and then I go, I sleep, I eat.
And then you wake up.
Yeah.
All right. So the
I
story,
didn't have it so bad.
The story you've told us now would make a lot of people here hate you.
I just had to share it because in as much as there are Nigerians that have it really bad, there are some people like me
that are soft.
Honestly, because let me go back. I was posted
What you just
to.
said now,
I was.
you're not making this matter better.
No, it's the truth. No, but it's the truth. This is my own reality. I've not had it as bad as most people here. Like, take for instance, I was posted to Enugu for youth service, and honestly, I cried.
Why?
Well, you said Kaduna before.
I deployed.
Okay.
When we started doing all those accreditation and everything in camp, and the girl that actually helped me, she was like, "You are 29." Because I sat in front of the camp gate and I was crying. I was like, I want to go back home.
Like you're too old to come for NYSC.
No, she was like, why you crying like a baby? And I said, because I want my mommy. I'm serious. So what I'm saying, and when I got to camp, I'm sharing this experience because there are people that have had it bad, but for me, this is my own experience. I've not had it so bad. And like
glory.
all my life, there's always somebody that like my mom constantly looks out for me. Do you understand? I know it. I'm sorry you feel bad and you feel jealous, but I mean, this is my own reality. So
I think I like your reality.
I like it too. It's not
Well, I
so
think
bad.
there's something I've noticed.
All right, so let's say what you've noticed, and then.
Okay, most of us, I believe that there is always a particular fallback job we can definitely do, but the pay attached to the job is constantly the problem we're facing. It's not like you can just say, okay, fine, there's no job. Let me just try and go to the market and try help people carry stuff. You definitely see a job there.
That is not a job, that's work.
That's the truth. You definitely see, let's just say for instance, me, I live in trenches, and you definitely see a lot of bets, ninja bets, whatever.
So that's work.
You go into there, you tell them they'll give you job now.
I won't work.
How many bet ninja shop there? Even people are even trying to open more, and you definitely say, but the pay. Brother, you can't take care of yourself with the
What's he saying, sorry? It's just like factory work. I don't think has anybody worked in a factory before?
I did.
Oh my god. Oh, that is slavery.
Have you worked in a factory work?
Oh my god.
Which of them?
Chicky. Oh my god. That day after that December, she was the one that called me that she has a job for me, and I woke up very early in the morning. I was wearing my trousers, and now I was like, I was putting on my trousers and my, she was like, even though I was like, it's not up to this one. I was like, I don't even know. I've not done that kind of work before. I don't know. So I got there. We were like, you spef.
Mama, sorry, let me ask. That chicky, which section you did? Palletizing?
Yes, I'm coming. You don't understand.
So you work at Chicky?
Yes.
Did you work at Chicky?
No.
Did you work at Chicky?
Nutrisima.
PZ.
Who else worked at Chicky?
Sorry, have you worked there before?
I lived beside Chicky, so I used to see them from
You will cry.
So you see what I say about not having it as bad as well.
You can't relate.
I'm like my office now. We have a showroom, we have a warehouse, and we have a factory.
Okay.
I'm in the factory.
Okay.
But I'm not doing all this.
No, sorry. Factory past factory. Do you understand? When I got there, we wrote this exam.
Exam.
There's comprehension one. There's comprehension. Mathematics. I'm telling you. Raise to power. I was thinking it's a good job. They said we should write a comprehension about Nigeria. I was writing, I was like, this one, the HR came in and called names. I didn't know it was those people that did not pass the exam. As she was calling, I know him and I said, God, why? I lost this job. She was like, I said, thank you for coming. You can go. First batch sent almost 100. So I started. The second one, they sent like more than 50 something. So the rest of us, we're not even much. When the second day we were asked to start the work, my sister. We were given this uniform. When I entered, they took me to seasoning departments. Oh my God. If we are talking about original dust, we used to use like 3 nose scrubber, like 3. You dare not. You will shock. When you fall again, you start from cleaning job. They'll tell you that you clean for like 2 weeks, so you get used to it. You will clean your life.
So how much is it?
Okay, during the interview, they asked me that, okay, how can I help you? I said, I was like, okay, let me start from, let me say 40. Someone said, come again.
40,000.
She said 40. I told the person 40.
Okay.
So she said 40,000. I said 40,000. The man was like, come again. I was like, okay, because sometimes they will tell you that you don't tell them the amount that I was thinking they want to offer me more. I was like, the one I said, sorry, we pay 800 per day. I said, what?
Glory Kimi.
800 naira. And I said, but now it has increased to 920. Wow. 920 naira per day. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, 100. But they pay us to 2 weeks because I'm still on a casual work. I'm still on contracts. So they pay us to 2 weeks. You pay your money to 2 weeks. But but if you have overtime, your money will increase and all that. So when I got here, I said, maybe I should come back. I went out, I was like, 920, staff boss, it's part of it too. At least, let me just, so I don't have a choice. I have to take the offer. When I entered there, you know what they call pong? Shit. It's not bricklayer. This one is more than bricklayers. Like the seasoning is like a dust. You pour it in the machine. We operate machine. You pour it. It has a lot of weight, and we have it's pail we use to carry the we pour it inside the machine. Some people machine step don't cost their hand away. Do you know that kind of experience? I get so when I think after 6 months I could not help myself again. I couldn't, but I was like, wait, collect your bonus. Because collect your bonus. I was falling sick almost every day. My son will tell you that, okay, I know you're not used to it, but just because I could not, but I don't want to move out because I don't have another thing I want to do there. I just have to endure.
Why are you folding your hand like this?
I'm remembering my own past.
So I tried. Even my mom took me, I was so slim. My mom took me to my pastor that she should talk to me. Like, it's like something is wrong with me inside my body. Because my mommy she's this spiritual type. Said, that there's something inside me because I'm big. I was so slim. I used to slim fit my clothes every weekend because I'm a chorus type. If I'm going to church, I have to slim fit so the skirts we balance back. Everybody that's sitting like, because it was then my daddy died. Everyone's like, is it because of your daddy? Hey, sorry. I'll be like, when I go out, I'll say, which one is daddy issue in this one? But I don't know what I wake up in the morning, I'll even dress. But nobody knows where I'm walking. So they believe I'm doing this. No, you understand? So I just have to endure. So it was this last year December, I'm not working there.
Last year December. So you did the job for many months?
Wow.
No, it
increased to 1,000.
What's the difference?
It's actually increased to 1,000. So I don't have a choice. Because there was no job.
The same reason why people stay in toxic relationship now, they can't live.
It don't start.
No. Let's not go that way.
Okay, so I allowed it to go on for long. Largely because I wanted us to appreciate what it is that
you have.
He was trying to remember his own experience. Maybe it's one.
Sober reflection. So we'll just take one more. We'll take your experience.
Get your tissue in case you want to cry.
Okay, so maybe we'll take your experience and then we'll go because the show is we've kind of like veered off the show really. The show is about unemployment and then big job offers and the rest. Your own experience falls under
job satisfaction.
You just started on his own. You don't follow that anywhere. If there's no job, that one is the defense. You just started on his own. The legend.
I think it's unconducive work environment.
It's still part of job.
I understand the limitations. I understand the limitations of factory work. Okay? I understand the limitation of factory work and because they have to pay per unit of whatever it is they are producing.
Yes.
Do you get? If
actually I had another job, I wouldn't have gone for that kind of job. That's, I just don't have a choice.
Ooh, it's supposed to have.
I don't have a choice.
Grace, where they look at you?
Are you talking to me?
You first one cry, you first now.
Man, they see you. Man, they see things. She said it does.
All right, so you're welcome back. Thank you for the break. So before we went on that quick break, we were talking about but she told us about the time she works in a factory, and you said you did the job for a year. Okay, and all throughout our narration, you were folding your.
It was unlocking a particular memory that I thought it was hidden away long time, because what she was saying, it's actually the real truth. And the funny thing is, from your house to the factory, you have to consider the amount of time. Yeah. Leaving your house, you have to leave early.
I was at this 5:30.
You can't clock in 1 minute to 7. You have to be there like 6:55, and the work starts 7 o'clock. You clock in anything 7:01, they'll deduct your pay. They might even tell you are not working for that day because they already have many hands on ground that wants to do your own particular job. So 6:30, you have to be there. And then I could remember I just left because mine was ND and HND. I just left ND then. There was nothing to do. Parents at home were telling me, young man, there's nothing we can give to you. You are not going to school. You are not buying any book again. And as per job boy, we did school before. And we have bought almost all the textbook in the world. It's true now. I'll buy like 7 textbooks, which doesn't exist. It is one I bought out of the 7. It's true. No. I be devil. I know why. So then there was nothing to really fall back on, and it was frustrating because not having cash at hand or money at all, you feel like you're a useless person. That was where it started from. Now, getting that particular job, I even thought it was something nice. Going there, filling form, dropping passport and all, I was excited. Yes, finally I can make some money. I was thinking about the money. Never knew I was walking into my own. Man, it was a very nice experience. I think it really toughened me up. So waking up every morning around 5 o'clock, getting to the factory before 6:30. My own section was palletizing. But I have to carry, because it's a milk factory, Nutrisima to be precise. You have to carry those cartons. They were, I think, each one is around close to 14 to 15 kilograms for each carton. You have to arrange those cartons on a particular pallet plate. After you've arranged it, you carry it with, there's this particular truck. It's not forklift. There's a difference between forklift and this one. This one, you can just pump it up a little bit.
It's pallet truck.
Pallet truck, thank you. It is not forklift. Forklift is those big boy driver that they will come. Those ones were collecting money.
Yeah.
They were the real staffs that work for them. But we, the people that they are outsourced, we are just to come and do the jack work for them. And I was paid quite a lot then. It was way better than 1,000 naira. It was 1,350 Yes.
You are very rich now.
And ours is even terrible because we'd have to go. There's no break. We go Monday from 7 to 7, Tuesday 7 to 7, Wednesday 7 to 7, Saturday 7 to 7. Now, that's in the morning. Sunday morning, we won't go. Sunday night, we have to resume 7 in the night. That's the way it works. And for us, we feel like
shift.
Exactly. We change shift. Now today they change shifts. Tomorrow they change shifts. So it was pretty intense, and I was being told at home that this is what makes a man. It's the truth. This is what makes a man. Now you are working for your money, and now you see how it feels. And after since that particular period, I feel like life has just gotten more tougher ever since. That's why I just feel like no matter what, I'm not going to factory work because my kid brother have to actually walk on my back every morning before I go to I'm not joking, though. I say people are laughing.
Do you dash money? Like they give money? Do you find it easy to give people money?
I'm stingy now.
Something you worked your ass off now.
Yeah, I was still in that period. Actually, but to my families, immediate families, there was no way I could escape from them. Or they were even expecting me to give them something tangible out of, because when you are earning something like 48,000 naira in a month, when I calculated all the 1,000, because it's week in, week out, there's no break. You're earning something around 42,000 naira in a month.
Is it salary or wages?
No, actually, it doesn't matter.
Why I ask is because maybe if they give you wages, you may be able to spend it at once. But salary, you can still say,
they'll pile it up for you. It is wages, but they will pile it up for you till on the 19th of the month.
Okay.
Then they will pay you. Because they'll tell you, this is what we are paying you, and it is paid every day. For each day you clock in, you'll be paid. Any day you give them a story or anything, you're not paid. So it's wages. There's no way you could escape it. So literally, we go to work Monday to Sunday for us to be able to afford some basic things, and it was tough. It was hard, and it made me want to just, I don't know. I just feel like there should be another way out. Going back for HND, it was even much more tougher. That was when I learned that I could do all these period lesson tutorials. So I take in maths for JAM class and YA classes. So it was something that could help me during my HND and as well as some other books I bought. So
Okay, so
now the real book, right?
So that's true. I'm that now. Okay, and I think I appreciate your stories, okay, because you actually took those jobs. They were factory jobs. They were low-paying jobs.
Terrible
work hours. Okay. Good thing about those kind of jobs is once you do that, you probably would. Any other job that comes after that will seem easy.
I'm sorry. Afterwards, when I finished HND too, I now said, there's no job anywhere. I tried every link around me.
You went back
to
that
No, Amy. I actually begged one of my friends. He said the work that there is on ground now, it's available at Abuja. And I was like, I'm a man, for crying out loud. I can move anywhere. I can go anywhere. I was told 2 days prior to the opening, because I had already done interview with them, and I've already done all the written test and assignment and everything that they could give me. I've done it. I wasn't even expecting anything from them, but I had a friend internally, and I was begging him, pasteurizing him. He was like, "There's no slots," and I know that there is actually a lot of slots in Lagos. I did that 2019 August, and January 2020 it was like, young man, you know what? There's a slot in Abuja if you want to. I think that was just to push me away. I'm serious. I think that was what it felt like. If I want to, that I should just accept the job. And since I'm just complaining that there's no job, I was tired of staying at home, seeing my mom and my dad. It is really tough because as a man, if you are staying with your parents for a particular period of time, you'll be given a particular type of treatment that you know this is not fair.
This is not fair.
You just keep giving you this body eating constantly. Like, what is happening in this house now? I'm a young grown man now. You can't be giving me all this kind of
unreasonable.
This is not the type of tax you are supposed to be giving me. I have different things I'm supposed to be doing now. Abba. Washing plate is not even a problem.
Buy Maginko.
Go and help me buy. I just went there. No. Why can't you tell me to pack everything and say, no. Just help me go and do this one now. This is my younger brother floating around, doing nothing on the bed. He says, I can't send you message again. A grown-ass man.
Okay, so when you got to Abuja, what?
I got to Abuja.
Was it factory too?
It was a bank teller job.
But
I can swear that it was like a factory work. This is no joke, I swear. Because you have to be there before 7:30. Me as a bad boy now, I know that nothing you know if you kill me 7:45, 7:50. Because customer resumes 8 a.m. What are we supposed to be doing from 7:10, 7:20?
Prep.
What's prep? They do there's this thing we call KSS. Like general studies, knowledge sharing session. That's what knowledge sharing session. So
do you still work with that bank now?
If I do, I wouldn't have mentioned their name, Echo Bank. Man, it was terrible. It was a factory work. Because this is how it was literally.
And you're not in tie.
You see the way he dresses, yeah.
All right, guys, we'll get back. Listen, I would have loved you to continue your story, right, so that we don't get sued by EcoBank. You'll be surprised that they have lawyers that
are ready to take me up.
Not just to take you up, to collect the salary they paid you. So
for sharing his experience, why is the legal angle that they want to?
Well, it's easy for you to say that you don't have enough money to retain lawyers. So,
actually, that's true.
So that's so we'll get back into your story and all that if we have time. Okay, so now from the experiences we've shared so far, everybody is aware that getting good paying jobs with conducive work conditions in Nigeria is hard. Yeah. That's the general assumption. Yeah. Okay. Usually it's easier if you have people who can refer you.
Connection.
In fact, it even says there's a book that was written by Keith Ferrazzi, Never Eat Alone. And he mentioned there, I think in the book, that 55% of people in the United States, particularly in New York City, got their jobs through referrals. 55%. They didn't do interviews. Okay, this person knows somebody. Say, go there, meet with this person, tell them you are from me. Those kind of introductions. And that's why it's extremely important for people to build relationships. People who can either vouch for you, they can refer you. She told her story much earlier in the conversation. And I think those are some of the key takeaways. Because most jobs that are grunt work, like what you've described is grunt work, okay, there's a limit to how much you can grow out of the jobs. Okay, those jobs just keep body and soul together, and they are really unskilled labor. Okay, you having an HND is just an added advantage for you. Ideally, most of the people they'll hire, they want to hire people who have managed to finish primary 6.
And actually,
well, so that's that. But we'll get back into that conversation now. The issue, right? What we want to discuss now, because today being Workers' Day, having a large proportion of Nigerians who are unemployed, 40.6%. Okay, the KPMG report that we read, 40.6%. Having that large number, we need to ask: has anybody here had the experience in which you got a particular job offer, you showed up for the interview, and then you found out it was something else?
Of course, yes.
Yes.
Because in your own case, the story you told us is fantastic. You got there, you met the job, and you got paid.
Sorry, sometimes when you are watching a movie, they edit the rough work.
And yes, but the point is this: it's the fact that it's factory. The factories exist. They are producing a product. You didn't get there on the first day and you got a motivational speech.
I have like 4 or 5 that I can remember vividly.
Okay, so we'll get to you then. So, is there anybody here who has had that experience?
55 Western Street.
Okay. All right. So you have. Is there anybody else also? You have the experience.
I can tell the story.
You tell us the story. So we'll go with Gabriel, then we'll go to Marvis, and then we'll go to Rita. Is there any other person else that's had that experience? You have.
I think I do too.
Okay, so we'll go there and then we'll end up with you. So let's hear your story.
Okay, I think this was 2000.
You started out with the address.
Yes, 55 Wexington Street. Is that place Oshodi? That place, Bagada. 55 Western. Is it Western Street or Wexington Street, Bagada? Well, it's a hall of fake jobs. It's a hub of fake jobs. Then I think I was living in Maya, so I had closed up a phase of the business I was doing. So I was not looking at it. I said, okay, it won't be good to keep your skills at home. At least spend some of that time doing get a computer, an IT job. So I saw a very beautifully decorated advert somewhere in garage, and it says they listed out some skills, some high-tech skills that they needed, people who are good in that networking, all kinds. And then there was a phone number. But I said, what's the point of making that call? So I left it. So that day, it was a Tuesday. You're supposed to go there on a Tuesday. You're supposed to be there before 9 a.m. So I decked up, I got there. But before I got there that morning, I now decided to call. So I called and said, please, is the interview that's supposed to be scheduled for 55 Wexington Street at Bagada, is it still holding? They said, yeah, sure, you're very sure. Please, do you have your results? You have your CV? You have, I say, everything is fine. I have everything. They said, please, make haste, just come. No. So I said, okay, I'm on my way. So I boarded the buses, the BRT. I got to Anthony. I got down. So when I got down, I looked at it. 55 Wexington. This address sounds more like somewhere in Oshodi, not Bagada. So I walked across and entered a three-legged Natrep, yes, to Oshodi. On getting to Oshodi, I now asked somebody, please, this address number 55 Wexington Street, how? And I said, no, you've left it behind. It's at Bagada. So I had to go on top of the bridge and get another bus going towards the island. So I stopped at somewhere close to, they call it Charlie Boy bus stop. And then somebody showed me, just cross the road, go to the other side. So I went across. I was lucky enough to find a place. When I got there, the first thing that put me off was, you saw this building, the whole place looked like a factory, fine. But the number of people you're saying is as if the church just finished a crusade or something. There were so many people. I was like, what's happening here? Okay, I now got through to the gate. I saw some nicely dressed security men. I said, sorry, sir, I'm here for an interview. Is this number 55 Wexington Street? They said, yeah, you're in the right place. You're right. Okay, come in. So they cleared me, checked for bombs, and I got in. On getting inside, I now saw that, did you receive our SMS? I said, yes, the SMS was here. So everybody that had the SMS, please, if you had the SMS, can you flash your phone? And I saw the number of people who were flashing the phone. It's like when the pastor said, lift up your phone for miracle money in church. And people were everywhere. They now ushered us into a hall. That's when different kinds of motivational speakers now came up. I started this job. This business. That's the euphemism. I started this business. I was broke as broke can be. And then they were saying all kinds of things.
Business talk.
Then now, at the end of the day, it all came down to this point that you needed to go and look for 18,000 or 30,000 to come and start this business. I was like,
to be on level 1.
So to be on level 1, but you can help yourself and double up your levels by getting one of your uncles to borrow you 100,000 so that you can actually buy the product. But then I now ask the question. I say, sir, hold on, my job I can't find for you. Why don't you guys borrow us the product when we go and do the business? Since you believe in this. The viability of the product, we will go and sell, and then when we sell, we will be able to pay for that registration. Because I wonder why I came here for an IT job, but now I'm seeing that I'm something close. Yes, and I'm something close to a pharmaceutical drug peddler.
Wait, the company is sounding like either Amazon or Longreach.
They have different nomenclature. In fact, in the midst of there's something I missed out. In the midst of all that masses that I saw, as if it was a church crusade, there were actually several companies with different names. You see Green Reliance International Renewable Limited. You see Green, everything had something to do with GM.
New one. Green Life.
A New Life, all kinds of names. And they are all fake. They are all fake. Anytime you call that particular phone number, there's somebody who's ready there to deceive you. It's like they've set up a funnel waiting for somebody to just make the mistake of calling that line. And then they'll put adverts everywhere with different things. They're telling you if you are looking for maybe a network security job, you see an advert saying network security.
They will put the salary
officials
amount.
Needed.
Yeah. They will put the salary amount.
I think some clues, to actually identify, because after then I got wise. When I see a post, I know exactly if it's fake or real. How.
All right, so that was the experience. Did you pick up the job eventually?
There's no job. There's no job there. They only calling people to come and hear the gospel they were preaching, and that's GNLD.
So was it GNLD?
They have all kinds of names, but you can all sum it up to GNLD because.
So.
All right. So you mentioned something. You mentioned that you can identify. There are things you can use to identify.
Course.
So can you just quickly run through it?
Okay, there are 3 of them. First of all, when you see such ads, you would always remember that you've seen a particular address. Like why I hold on to that 55 working is because I had seen it that week in multiple addresses. So I was like, and that's why when I saw lots of people gathered, I didn't think it too strange. I thought maybe they were HR companies or human resource companies, maybe.
Coming to hire. Okay, so that's the first thing.
That's the first thing. Then second thing, you see jobs that tells you that's already calling out the salary from the word get-go. Anywhere you see, just run for your life. Actually, whenever you see for a salesman, a cleaner for 50,000, anyway you see that's run for your life. Then the third thing is, when you see the names of the company, one of the quick ways you can actually save yourself is just do a Google search. Immediately any of them, because it's a battle of keys now. When you see anything Reliance, when you put it on a Google search, you will see all those masquerading. In fact, most of their web pages are not fully paid out websites that are hosted on.
I've met one that was really nice. Like their review on Google was 5-star. I believe they did it themselves. They gave themselves good reviews and all. They had people just liking it and giving it 5 stars. I believe they did those ones themselves. And I believe they bought our user data from a particular site or something.
Yes.
I don't know how they get my number. That's the first off key. Mm-hmm. You don't know me from Adam. You are sending me interview message. How?
Yeah, that's another point.
I'm not registering for anything. How do you know I'm not looking for a job?
Yeah.
Is it going to be stated that you should come for a job? Or I have something like that, but it was not like a job. It was Amazon stuff. You just said somebody referred you for something.
Amazon is Long Reach. They'll tell you
no, Amazon is not from Long Reach.
No, I've actually had the Amazon one. It was someone who invited me here at Ikorodu. She was. They were like, you want to partner with Amazon, and they will give you some particular sets of products.
Yes.
That are free. But you need to pay 50,000 naira.
Yeah, you're right.
To be registered under a particular person.
Yeah, just like a break chain store.
This is where the thing comes. Immediately I'm hearing I would be under a particular. This is the settings. This is just basically the settings. They'll rent a very nice hall. They'll park different cars. I think those cars are rented. There's no way you can tell me rented cars.
Good.
After coming with rented cars, they always have 3 or 2 people session to come and brainwash us.
Yes.
The first person will come give us story. His own success story from scratch, because basically we are there. We are suffering. You are from scratch. We are still in the scratch. So they would give us the success story of 2 months back before she started or he started the work. 2 months back. So the mindset we would have is 2 months. And
within 2 weeks.
This is a great job. So she will give me the success story, show us how she has been suffering before. Even flash her car keys. This is Lexus. You saw that Lexus 350 outside. It is my own. I am currently working with Amazon. I am not employed under anybody. Do you want to be free? And do you want to have money and time for you to spend your money? Do you want to be financially free? They will give you different stuff that looks nice, like,
and there's tourism. You can tour around different countries.
Yeah, go around the world.
And you'll be like,
depending on your level.
In your head, you'll be like, perfect. This is what I've been searching for. I want to be free and I want to be able to enjoy the money I've made, because I can't be waking up 5 o'clock every morning.
Thank you.
By Friday, I'm exhausted. Saturday, I don't even want to leave the house.
Yourself how?
Sunday, I want to iron my clothes that are weird the next morning. How do you want me to be free? I feel like I'm in bondage, but this thing is the perfect fit for me. I'm loving it. Right on, Pastor. And this is where they always make that mistake. You pay 50,000 naira to be under. I don't understand. Do I look like I can afford 50,000?
Then I'm gonna start a business.
Are you people in your right senses?
You have 50,000. Will you come to the job?
Well, I would say this, that if for the 2 million Nigerians are unemployed, there's somebody somewhere probably will come up with that 50K.
Definitely.
But even when you come
even
up
before
with
you
50K,
leave,
it doesn't end well.
That's the funny thing.
It's a scam.
Before you leave that
no.
particular spot, you will see 1 or 2 people saying, I want to register.
Exactly.
They will
And
take them to another room.
Yes.
They'll go and pay 50. I don't care.
Some may not be
I'll just be like,
RNG to lure you. You are the guinea pig.
I will get back to you on that.
So let's bring it full circle. Right. So you've had that experience. Okay. Is your experience similar to his?
Kind of.
Is it Amazon long?
I don't even know their names.
Okay, but did you go for a job interview and then you got there and found out that it wasn't a job?
Yes, like twice.
Where did it happen?
At what's the name of this place? Was it not Shita? Bimasha? Surulere Aziz.
Okay.
And the first one was at garage. This garage here, close to the Aoba Palace. There is one complex there like that. So
you know the people who are watching this do not know where garage is. Do not know.
Ikorodu garage.
Okay, so
like around that Oba Palace. So somebody told me that babe, I'm gonna go find work. I said me and feel waka. I don't like stress for my life. She just like let's go. And I said okay, now only you they need for this. Which one be my own? She said let's go. That maybe they may be needing other people. And I said okay, I carry CV. We go. When we got there, the address that was there, we got confused and we started asking everybody like they don't know anywhere like that. Okay. Oh yeah, I called the number on the flyer that they gave you. So one guy came outside and took us upstairs. We climbed upstairs as if we were climbing Mount Zion. When we got there, the guy asked us to sit down. We sat down. They asked us if we want water or drink. I said, I don't want anything. The other girl collected water and she drank water and I was scared. After drinking this water, if you see yourself in a dark room, it's not my mind. I just sit down. So the lady brought form. He said I was going to pay for the form for 1,000. I said, now 500 naira carry me reach here. 200 naira keke go carry me reach house. So I don't have the money. They're like, okay, you can pay later when you get the job. I said, okay, give us form. We will form. What's the job? Go. That's what I want to know. And what's the amount? They said 50K. Me and my friend don't calculate it. We go use it. So when they brought the form, we filled the form. The form was like three pages, like 3 A4 papers. Like, I don't understand. Now my family now employ. We filled the form. The girl to fill the form. Another lady came. She brought one staff was a booklet or something. We write name, write phone number, birth date, and every other thing. Okay, tell us what is the job. That is why we're here. The guy started talking. What we'll do is you resume work 8 o'clock. What is the job? What are we going to be doing? We just come and sit down. You give us 50,000 naira. What are we going to be doing? He said, actually the job involves different things. You will do different things, and I promise you're going to enjoy the job. I was already getting frustrated. Like my friend was like, babe, calm down now. Maybe yeah, the 50K, they okay. I was like, okay, what is the job? He now brought one flyer. He said, wristband. Can you come? The wristband is packed inside nylon, this transparent nylon. You are going to sell 50 you sell 130 in a day. It's a target job. And the second one, you will sit down and look for customer on the system. You convince people to patronize. I was like, wow. So I go waka inside sun. The person will go buy wristband. That wristband is medicated. It's not medicated. It's a customized wristband, like all these Redeemed Church wristband. So they had something like wristwatch on it, like screen on it. So they just look for one name, right, for the name of the wristband. I was like, okay, sir, sorry, let me ask a question.
Is it a digital watch?
It's not a digital, it's a wristband. Like normal wristband we buy from Aboki. All those wristbands that we used to buy from Aboki. They just customize this.
You sampled the product yourselves.
Like we are the ones to tell people that this is what the wristwatch does. Like you will
that's why I said it's medicated. Like there's
medicated.
I've heard something like that.
It's
like,
a fashion wristband.
When you say we'll tell somebody what we do,
I asked the man that sorry sir, I will work under the sun from morning till when I finish selling 1:30. wristband. What if I did not finish selling the 130 wristband? What will happen? He said 25% out, 5% out of your 50K has dropped. I said, okay, if in 1 week I'm not able to sell anything, what will happen? I'm not paid. I said, okay, no problem. I'll take the job. I just told my friend to convince them that after all the time wasted, sit down with that place. Not be as if we just live like that. So the guy gave me their resumption, their working, whatever thing. He said, tomorrow, 8 o'clock, no problem. My friend was like, oh, drum now, nothing DJ. I said, no problem. When we left the place, they gave us one thing like ID card. They said, when we get home, we should put our passports inside. I'll wear it when we are going to do. When we won't go kiddie. When we left, I told my friend, for your life, till you go there, don't cry if you come this kind of place again. So we left. I think she took the job. I don't know the outcome. We never met again. The second one was, we went to Surulere. I was working in a supermarket, very, very big supermarket. But the manager there was frustrating me. So I was like, let me look for another job before I quit. And I'll have to collect my salary before I quit. So
what do you mean by the manager was frustrating?
A lady can relate. So a lady can relate. So that day I was off on a Tuesday. I told my friend, we just stroll. Like, let's take a walk. It was morning. So when we got to Marshall bus stop, roundabout, we saw one poster. My friend already told me this thing has scam. I said, babe, we don't do anything. Maybe we just use them place more.
See that same friend that took you to this part?
No. So we saw the advert. They were like, supermarket job, 45K. And yeah, they are paying us 30,000. 30,000. It's at least 15,000 naira different. Okay, let's go. They put no phone number. We copied the phone number. I saved the phone number with supermarkets. So I had to wait for another off day. Like, okay, let's go today. We called them. They gave us description. We entered bus from Marshall bus stop to another bus. So we got to, what's the name of this place? Yaba. When we got to Yaba, we took another bus from Yaba. We just did go. We spent almost 3,000 naira just going. When we finally got to the bus stop, we called the number like, okay, we are at the bus stop. He said, we should wait. That is, he sending somebody to come out because meeting. What's in me?
I don't understand what you say. Can you translate that?
Like what I said in Yoruba.
Yes.
I said I'm already getting tired.
Okay.
So we waited for another 30 minutes. Finally, the guy came. What are you wearing? White, blue. We see ourselves. Oh yeah, come like this. We went. We started another journey. We trekked to another street. Where are we going to? My friend said, baby, there is me do ritual. Mama, let me there born. No. I'm like, let's go. Life is a risk. Oh yeah, let's go. I just motivated her like, okay, let's go. Not if it happened to us. God see our heart, say we don't do any bad. We left. The guy was in front. We were following him. With the way you see the guy, you don't know see this one an errand boy. With the way he did, we got to a building. Outside the building is like a bar. That people were sitting down, they were drinking, and it's a complex. The guy entered front. We started climbing another upstairs. 3-story building. We were going. My friend was just pinching me that this guy place is the one there. Don't be wrong. Come out to. We shall reach. Finally, we got to the office. They said we should write our names down. We write name, write phone number. They move us to another room where we see multitude of humans. Like, if I say plenty is an understatement. They were much that the place was so hot, as big as that place. It was very hot. We did not want to enter. We stood at the door like, what's happening here? We were supposed to have job interview. The guy said, we should come and sit down, that we'll get the job, that they are going to offer different kind of job, that we should sit down. I cannot enter this place, so it's very, very hot. Let me just stay here and observe. We saw some girls outside the hall. They were writing some things, some small paper. A lot of things was just happening there. And my friend was like, Alpha, how would they reach here? When we pass, they go back. I say, no, we don't reach here. We don't spend 3K for transport. Hungry, they worry. All of us. And I'm like, okay, let's wait. Before we know, we see microphone, person carry microphone, started talking. Like, please order, because it was noisy.
Everybody was quiet. They're like, have you guys filled the form? Have you guys paid? Can it come? I was so angry. I was like, what is this? We're supposed to be having interview. Besides, I don't even know what the job is. They said supermarket. Is this supermarket? Like, I don't get. This is not a supermarket. At the end of the day, we got angry. I'm like, let's go. The guy was like, hey, let's wait now. There are different jobs. Can get supermarkets. Even now, save job 45,000. Can you make? I said, okay, sir, we'll come back. We have work we want to do. This guy followed us when we were going down. I was even scared that this kind of place, they can use people. They used to keep people there. Because the place was very dark. The place was dark. The staircase, everywhere was so dark. No lights. Everywhere was hot. There were so many fans inside that place. But none of them was on. The place was hot. People were using book to fan themselves. So when we were going, the guy followed us to almost the bus stop.
Finish.
Wetin happen? We no do again. Leave us. We don't dey go. The guy called me again after that. When we left, I prayed to God that God don't let me engage myself with this kind of thing again. It's frustrating. The guy was calling me like, let's come back. He's going. I say, I swear for your life, you call me again.
Frustrating. Let me come in right now. All right. There's a reason why I allowed this to go on for so long, because I wanted us to hear your story. Okay. You had jobs that they were terrible jobs. Some of those jobs were terrible jobs. There were jobs that they were bait and switch, meaning that what was advertised is different
from what the job is.
Okay. Is there anyone here who you actually had experience in which you went out for a job and found out that the job did not exist? The job didn't exist. Did you have that? Was that the experience?
Well, I didn't go because someone checked the address for me, somewhere around Ogba.
Yeah, Ogba. There's a lot of fake jobs there.
Okay, the first experience I had was actually in Kaduna. I think when I registered for I registered on that Jobberman, and I think maybe it was one of the numerous jobs I applied for at the time. So I got an email actually from them saying I had a job interview, blah 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 blah. So I got there in fact, it was on Valentine's Day. Last year. Oh, was it like, yes, it was on Valentine's Day. On the Monday morning, I got dressed. And when I got there, I can't remember the address, but the place in Kaduna is Sabu in Kaduna. So I got there and I went upstairs and the place it was a plaza. Like all those plazas that have office. So like when I got in, I was like, and I was chatting with one of my friends at the time. So I told him, I was like, guy, this place. He was like, you don't come off, I'll just wait, most of it's gonna happen. So like he was talking me through like I kept updating him and stuff. So when I knew that it was shady, was one guy came in and he started asking questions, and he walked one woman out because he asked her, he said that, can anybody live on 50,000 naira? So, he said the interviews were in different stages. The first stage, he talked, said plenty things. And then the second stage, he said it was interactive. So it was during that interactive session that he asked that, can anybody live on 50,000, can anybody raise a family on 50,000 naira? So at that time, there was a woman there. She even came with her baby. And then the woman was trying to make him understand that, okay, take for instance now, if you are living in Kaduna, there are people staying in Kaduna that are earning 70,000 naira and they are living comfortably. That's because the cost of living in Kaduna is totally different from the cost of living in Lagos. Like in Kaduna, you can get a comfortable 2-bedroom apartment for like 200K or less, depending on the area where you're in. And these are things that you can't easily get in Lagos. So the woman was trying to make him understand that, okay, depending on your location, the man just told her, madam, stand up, walk out. I said, yeah. The guy just kept talking and said blah, 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 blah. And like she mentioned, eventually, one lady now asked, she was like, so why are we here? Like, what is the job? What are we actually going to do? Then that's when the guy now started talking about, like, look at my boss. Currently, they're in Germany, blah, 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 blah. The guy shall talk. Then we got to the interview stage. Then we got to the third stage, which was the interview stage. And we went in and then they were like, the lady that interviewed me said they were looking for an admin. And then she asked me questions about being an admin and I told her, I said, no, this is my first, after NYSC, this is my first job interview. And then she talked. And then the guy was still in the hall talking about, okay, what discouraged me? When I was done with the interview stage and then I went back to the hall to sit, the guy now started talking about, well, you have to do referral, you bring this, you buy products, it was like a chain, like an unending chain. Like the guy just kept chain. At a point, I had to tell my friend, I said, guy, this is the point where you call me. And so when he called me, I just picked the call and then they were teasing me, like, my husband has called me. I said, thank you and God bless. But at this point, I have to leave. And that was how I left. So, okay, when I was there, my friend asked me, I can't remember the name of that particular clinic. But when not the plaza, should I call it an organization? I don't know. But when my friend asked me and I told him, and then he was like, you didn't Google it? I said, I didn't bother to. So he checked it and then he was like, is this their logo? I said, he was like, no. Stand up. So I was like, it was at that point I was like, you have to call me now, so I'll leave. So, and then that was how I left the place. And then it turned out that it was this GNLD, something. And then when I was there, when he checked and he saw the logo, then there was something on Naira Land about those particular people. In fact, about that particular place. There was something on Naira Land about it. So, like, he checked it and then he sent me a screenshot and he was like, now fake, you go come out for the place. And that was how I escaped that. Then when I came to Lagos, that I was supposed to go for my first supposed interview. And then I was talking to my same friend and then he was like, Ogba, now no go area, beg, no stress yourself. So that was when I now checked on Google. Then someone took out time, even on Naira Land, I think if you check it, someone took out time to like write out addresses of fake places. Like Ogba, they have like 4, I'd be 5. I was like, So it was after that point that my cousin preferred me for my first job. So I didn't have to go through the whole stress of doing all those plenty things again.
Okay. It's depressing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It can be.
Terrible.
But
you know, I want to say something. You see, this issue of jobs being unavailable, I think even the government, the federal government of Nigeria and government at every level has begun to see they began to see the danger of it. For example, I've been in Cross River for 2 years, and what have I been doing there apart from the main hustle that took me there? You know, there's always side hustle to every full-scale hustle. The side hustle has been to go to NYSC camp. There's a department you have called SAID, right? A Skills Acquisition and Enterprise Development Department. So I do this for another organization called National Directorate of Employment. You go there, you get to, because you're a youngster too, or so to speak, they want you as this success story to tell the next people who are going to join that queue that, bros, through a job I know day for country. So prepare your mind. What is that skill you learned in your junior high school? Was it hairdressing? Please dust it up. You will need it. Yeah. Was it shoemaking? Please, you soon need it.
Exactly.
It's going to be very urgent. So it's to forestall all this kind of happenings, because come to think of it, when people have degrees, because that's the mindset we grew up on. We are just trying to disabuse ourselves of that notion. But immediately people come out of universities or secondary school or college of education, tertiary institution or whatever, the first thing people want to think of is, I need a job. People have begun to see having a job like the shortcut to satisfying your need to express yourself financially, because I think it's the only book that says that money is a defense, but yes, money answers all things, right? So the earlier you realize in this country that to beat the rat race, you have to be one of those actually given the job, the quicker for us. And although I know that there are many hurdles to even that, because if you are to start a new thing, to start a new business, you actually, that also brings us to another whole line of thoughts and what to do, what to know. But since we're talking about jobs and the unavailability or the or the difficulty in securing a job. I think it's nice that we also showcase that fact that apart from actually going out to get a job, you can also think of enterprise.
All right, so we'll get into that because that's an entire whole lot of stories. So we've said so many things right now. Let me just do a quick summary, a quick recap. Okay, from based on our conversation so far, and we can speak only for Nigeria, all right. But I think this is also true for most African countries, most English-speaking African countries. Most of their jobs are available that nobody wants to do because the jobs are hard, they're extremely low paying, and they don't have work-life balance. All right? We have that. We also know that a huge proportion of people in Nigeria don't have the kind of jobs that makes it easy for them to keep a family going, to support themselves, based on the data we have and based on some of the conversations we've had today. We also realize now that there are lots of people who have taken advantage, some organizations, some who have taken advantage of the huge demand, the large size of people who are looking for jobs, the large workforce that are not engaged. Several organizations have taken advantage of that, okay, to hire unpaid or low-paid marketing staff in the guise of offering them jobs. Okay, we've had conversations about a lot of those jobs are available and that it's important for most people. One of the things that Gabriel mentioned, one of the things he mentioned is that for you to identify some of those jobs, you will find out that they appear not to have specifics with regards to the role that they're advertising for. The jobs tend to be clustered, all right, in locations that if you do a Google search, you'll find out that people have had experience with fake jobs there or scam jobs there. And then the third thing is, a lot of times you'll be asked to pay or deposit a particular amount. If you go for a job interview and you are asked to deposit a particular amount of money, almost every time it's a scam. Okay? One of the positive interactions we've gotten from the conversation we've had today is that it's easier for people to get jobs through referrals. And that eliminates a lot of the headaches for you because it means that people who already know you, they have an idea of what the organization looks like. They have an idea of what the organization can pay. And then there's that ease of introduction. You can jump the hoops of interviews. Okay, we referenced a particular book, Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi, in which he mentioned that about 55% of people who get jobs usually get them. 55% of jobs are filled
by
referrals and introductions. And so if you are out there and you're looking for a job, it's important for you to realize that you may actually have to increase your proximity to people who can provide information about those job openings. Okay? Usually by the time in which you are broke or by the time in which you have been fired from a job, usually it's a bit too late for you to start looking for one. And so the ideal thing for you to do is to build the kind of relationships that if tomorrow, if you're laid off, you can make phone calls and then you can get a soft landing. Okay, most people do not most people leave. Networking has been given a bad rap. Okay, so but most people, people would offer you roles easier if they know you and if they have an idea of exactly what it is that you're capable of doing. And so that means that we have to devote a sizable amount of time to build those kind of relationships. Now, what I am saying will not work for every single person, but it will work for those people who can apply it. And we have relationships. If your parents worship in a particular congregation, you have people in those churches that you can build relationships with. If you have brothers, if you have sisters and all that, they have friends, and it's important for you to think of those immediate and those loose connections. If you started working, it's also important for you to set aside a particular amount of your resources, okay, to look for individuals who work in industries that you are interested in. Most people do not do that. Okay, they assume that their jobs will always be there forever. I'll give an example. Right now, as I speak today, around this period of time, Goldman Sachs in the UK laid off several people. I happen to know someone who used to work there. He used to work at Goldman Sachs. And when I had a conversation with him, one of the things I told him is that I said, as secure as your role is there, it's important for you to also constantly keep interviewing and keep building relationship. And so when they had clients come, we would talk to clients and get an idea of a feel of what the organization is. When those organizations were hiring, okay, he got information from somebody who worked in there. Because the problem with most jobs is most jobs are not advertised.
Yes.
That's also another thing. I'll use this story, and I think we mentioned this story in one of the previous podcasts we had. Okay, there was a particular man who worked in, it's a very, very popular oil company in Nigeria. Okay, and there was a position in that oil company, and he filled that position with temporary workers. He constantly kept hiring temporary workers. They would work there some of them work for about 6 months or so, 9 months, and then he would change them consistently. And why was he doing that? He had a daughter who was in 300 level.
Oh.
And he just kept telling people that his own goal is to ensure that this girl graduates and he gets her this job before he retires.
Exactly.
You understand?
True,
So you have a lot of
cases
that.
are like that.
I've spoken to an individual who also worked in a paramilitary organization, all right, in the country. And when I spoke to him, I asked him, how did he get his start there? And he told me it was God. So God did it. And I said, I know. But I said, it's not fair for you. In fact, what I told him is that I have a younger brother, which I had a younger brother, but the younger brother was not interested. I told him I have a younger brother who I'm thinking probably would do well in this kind of organization. So how did you get started? Please be honest. And then he gave me this answer. So let's assume the organization was the Rapid Support Forces.
That's so Sudan.
Okay, and let's assume. So he said that he got his job in the Rapid Support Forces because his brother was a top-ranking person in immigration and customs. So I said, why? He said that his brother could not hire him. His brother was a high-ranking officer in immigration and customs. Yeah. His brother could not hire him into their agency. Yeah. So his brother went to Rapid Support Forces, met somebody similar to his rank and told him, I need to hire someone. He's my blood brother, but I can't hire him into this agency because of nepotism and the laws. Let me hire him into your agency, and I will keep the slot I want to give my brother in my agency for your brother.
Business.
Trade by barter.
So it was more or less like a cross. So that's how he got into that agency. Okay, so when you sit down, you talk to that person and tell you he's God. Do you know anybody here? I don't know anybody here. God just did it. But the truth is, he had that.
Yes.
And so you have a lot of some of those deals going on in several organizations. Somebody is a top ranking officer in MTN. He can't hire into MTN. He goes to someone in Glo, tells them that I have a brother. I'll give your brother a job if you. And they do a lot of those. So that's why you see
trade wholesale.
They do a lot of that. It goes on behind the scenes and people don't talk about it. Okay, so it's important for you because nobody drops from heaven. All right? We tend to have family members and really. She mentioned something now. You mentioned that, was it your sister or your cousin?
My cousin.
She mentioned that her cousin had information about an organization and then that got her that role. The person who offered your cousin that role probably traded something for your cousin. It's possible. He probably traded the favor.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's important. Okay, for the few people that watch the podcast to help them get a foot through the door and all that, referrals account for the larger portion by which people get their roles. It's not everything. So we've gone full circle. Okay, we cannot help the 42 million Nigerians who are out of work. All right. But as much as possible. And then this is a plea, basically. So this is a plea. For those people who are going to watch this video outside the country, outside Nigeria and all that, this is a plea. And this is where we get to pitch. All right? This is where we get to pitch for the projects we're working on. Okay, so Nigeria has a very, very young workforce. Nigeria has I think, what's the proportion of Nigerians that are below the age of 17?
I think it's around like 41%.
Okay, roughly 41% of Nigerians are below the age of 17. So Nigeria has a large proportion of young people who need to work. Okay, in this organization and across Nigeria, there are several people who are working to put things in place. Okay, to build organizations that can provide jobs for people, particularly for young men. And some of you would say, why would you say particularly for young men? Because young men need to start families. Most people will not get married to a man who does not have a job. Most women. It's not just in your country. It's everywhere in the world. Most women do not want to marry a man who is unemployed. And so there's the need for us to find a way to grow our industries. The KPMG report we referenced at the beginning of this podcast mentioned that deindustrialization, DE, is a major cause of the low proportion of jobs that are available. Nigeria has several problems. There are opportunities in the power sector. We need to build power plants, mini grids. We need to increase food production and agricultural production. If you're watching this podcast from anywhere in the world, there's 200 million people in Nigeria who need to feed. There are 200 million people in Nigeria who need electricity. And if you have the resources available to invest in this country, you can reach out to us and we probably can make that happen. Right. So thank you very much for taking our time today to join us for this show.